Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you on Sunday. I hope you are having a very good weekend. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. I hope you're being suitably spoilt. And thank you very much as always for watching. Didn't get to do a video yesterday, apologies for that, a bit busy over the weekend with the little ones running around, but thought I'd definitely pop on today and discuss a few things. We've got to start with Eddie Nketiah. Yes, it was yesterday, but like I said, I didn't get to speak about it, so I just wanted to give my thoughts on Eddie. That contract was finally confirmed yesterday, 5-year deal, as we all knew, building up to the announcement for Eddie, although Arsenal announced it as the usual long-term contract. It is 5 years, taken until 2027. He has been given number 14, as we reported ahead of that announcement. Certainly generated lots of debate, that one. I wasn't too sure about it at first. I was like, should he really be taking on that responsibility for him? But then I start thinking, you know what, really, what does it matter? And if he's got the confidence to take it on and he wants it, and he sort of listened to why he wanted it as well, you think, yeah, you know what, fair play. If you were in that position, same as Eddie, you'd want it as well. If you'd want to, grew up idolising Henry and you had the chance to get 14, then why on earth wouldn't you take it? And hopefully he can bring some more success in that shirt, score some more goals in that shirt, and it will be great. There's certainly been lots of mixed opinions, mixed views on Eddie and the fact he's been given this new contract. I know a lot of people seem to be angry by it. It certainly seemed like Gabriel was a bit taken aback on social media yesterday by some of the reaction he tweeted out about people being ungrateful. We don't know for certain if it was about Eddie or not. It certainly seemed that way given some of the tweets he liked in response to that. But I mean, I think you've got to take a step back as well sometimes and realise social media is not. It's such a cesspit most of the time that it's not. It's sometimes you can get so caught up thinking that's exactly what everyone feels, but of course it's not. It's just the toxicity of social media can sometimes get in the way of what and make you feel like the majority of people think like that when we really don't. I mean, my view on it is, look, I wouldn't. I'm not sure I'd have shed any tears had Eddie left. I think what I'd be most frustrated about if Eddie had left this summer is the fact that Arsenal would have lost him for free. That would have annoyed me. I don't like in terms of his quality and what he's shown so far. I'm not sure. Like I said, I would have probably shed any tears about Eddie leaving, but I'm also quite glad that he signed because he certainly showed towards the end of last season when he finally was given his chance in the league. He took it. Fair play to him. He performed really, really well. He backed up some of his comments, scored goals. Not just scoring goals, he showed more to his all-round game in that run of form towards the end of last season. I think perhaps a lot of us gave him credit for. Fair play to him for that. And he's shown that possibly he can, make a big impact in the Premier League. What he has to do now is follow that up, back that run of form up and produce it consistently. It'll be interesting to see how many opportunities he gets, how much of a run of games he gets in the Premier League next season, if, as expected, at least one striker arrives. You'd think Eddie might find himself back on the bench at the start of the season. It'll be down to him to force his way back into the plans. But Mikel Arteta always wanted him to stay. That was clear by his comments. And yesterday on the statement that was released, he said, "I'm delighted Eddie's staying with us. He represents what we are all about and the values of the club. We are happy that he's extended his contract. And now we have to get to work to continue to develop the great talent and person that we have." That's it. You've got to remember Eddie is still only 23. He's only going to get better as he improves. We know he's a very good finisher in and around the penalty area. He's proved that, not just last season, he'd proved that before. It's just a case of, did he have enough all-round quality in his game to really make an impact in the Premier League? And I think that was what really stood out for me in that run between, April and the end of the season last season, was he showed he could run the channels, he showed he could be strong, he showed at times he could even play with his back to goal. And I thought his performance in the win at West Ham towards the end of last season was really, really impressive. He didn't score in that game, but it was a proper centre-forwards performance, I thought. And if he can replicate that, then fair play to him. And I don't see it as a bad. Some people are complaining about it, but I think it's kind of a win-win situation. Either you're going to get a player who's going to really explode at the age between 23 and 28 and become a real proven Premier League goal scorer. If he does that, and even if he doesn't do that, I don't think you're going to get money for him, because I don't think he's in the sort of contract that's going to be tied down where he's going to be impossible to move. I mean, a lot of people have made out about this $100,000 a week contract. In the grand scheme of things in the Premier League, that is not huge money. That is not going to make him impossible to move, I don't think. So like I said, it's a win-win for me, because it's either he really sort of explodes, takes his game to a new level and becomes a real asset to Arsenal, or it doesn't quite work out, but he's still going to be young, English, pretty proven at the top level in the Premier League. You're going to be able to sell him and not going to lose him for free. So, I think on the whole, it's a decent move for Arsenal. I don't really have an issue with it, and hopefully, touch wood, he can go on and kind of follow in the likes of Bukayo and Emil, who have both signed long-term contracts in the last couple of years and now have made a real big impact in the Premier League. And hopefully, Nketiah may be older than them, but he's had to bide his time a little bit more than those two. But hopefully, he can make a big impact over the coming years. So there you go. That's my thoughts on Eddie Nketiah's new contract. Let me know what you think. Agree, disagree. As always, hit me up in the comments below. Okay, transfer-wise, not much has moved on, I have to say, from last time I spoke to you. There has been the story that was written by David Ornstein and James McNicholas. I think there was a few different bylines on there about Lisandro Martinez, the Ajax centre-back. That's an interesting one to keep an eye on. David, saying that he's very much a priority for Arsenal now, a left-sided centre-back. Perhaps that might raise a few eyebrows with people thinking another centre-back. How many centre-backs have Arsenal signed in the last few years? But I suppose, when you look at it, who is the natural cover left-sided wise at the moment, with Pablo Mari obviously gone? Arsenal do need cover for Gabriel in that left-sided centre-back, and that's what it appears that Martinez will be. The Athletic reporting that Arsenal have already had a bid rejected, and they are not sort of backing down and expected to bid again. So we'll see how that one pans out. It looks like it'd be sort of over 30 million to get Martinez in. We'll wait and see how that progresses. In terms of the others, Jesus, like I reported on Friday, as far as I'm aware, Arsenal have bid once, had that rejected. I don't think they've bid again yet, but everyone, there will be another bid coming. Arsenal will push to get that deal done. Lots of rumours, speculation about other clubs being interested in Jesus. It feels like what Arsenal need to try and wrap up as soon as possible. Everyone's kind of on board with this. Manchester City are willing to let Gabriel Jesus go. We know that. That's not a secret. Gabriel Jesus wants to go. We know that. That's not a secret. Arsenal want to sign him. It's just a case of all marrying that all together and coming up with something between all three parties that means, let's get it done. And basically it's going to be between Arsenal and Man City, because I don't think there's going to be too much of an issue with the player and Arsenal, because those talks have been going on for such a long time now. Everyone knows what is being offered and what he wants. It's just a case of agreeing something with Manchester City, who, interesting enough, at the moment, a lot of speculation is suggesting they might be willing to sell Raheem Sterling to Chelsea. I think I saw something like £35 million mentioned for that, which I'm surprised about. £35 million for Raheem Sterling. I thought it'd be more than that. So we'll wait and see, how things move with Jesus over the coming week. I suggest we're going to really see things really sort of moving forward in the coming days with him. In terms of Tielemans, I don't think anything's happened with him yet in terms of an official bid for Tielemans. We just have to wait and see if that emerges from Arsenal. The Vieira signing should be announced early on this week. His medical has been done over the last couple of days. He arrived on Thursday night. Medical, I think, it was planned over a couple of days, Friday, Saturday. It's just a case of sort of getting all the legal stuff done, as I reported on Friday. I wasn't expecting an announcement for that. There was a slight chance it could come over the weekend, but someone I was speaking to on Friday was suggesting it would be sort of early next week. So it could be tomorrow, it could be Tuesday. We'll have to wait and see. Certainly interesting to see the comments regarding Vieira, sort of comments from Arteta and how he sees him, what he views him as this season, because a lot of people have been looking at that thinking, Vieira's come in, we're not going to sign Tielemans. I don't think it's as cut and dry as that. I still expect Arsenal to push on and try and sign Tielemans, and we'll just have to wait and see if when a bid goes in, or if a bid goes in for him with Arsenal. Rafinha, again, it's kind of complicated by the Barcelona stuff. We know Rafinha and Barcelona have been talking for a long, long time about getting a move done this summer. Personal terms all seem like that's all been agreed. It's just a case of, will Barcelona come up with the money now to Leeds to sign Rafinha? Barcelona, we know, are not rich, far from it. They've got lots of money issues. if they can manage to sell someone like Frankie de Jong to Man United, that might help them, and that might see them get the move across for Rafinha. If it doesn't, then it opens up the possibility for the likes of Arsenal who are interested. But you do have that sort of the thing of what happens with Nicolas Pepe as well, that, as I've suggested before, I kind of feel like that needs to be resolved before Arsenal can really sort of go for Rafinha and step up their interest in him, which I understand, I'm told is absolutely genuine. Arsenal very much are interested in Rafinha. If there is a deal to be done this summer, they will try to do it. It's just a case of everything falling into place with what happens with Barcelona, what happens with Nicolas Pepe. As usual in the transfer window, all things are pretty complicated. Finally, one signing who we know is certainly arriving at Arsenal, it hasn't been announced yet, but we know it's already done and dusted, is Matt Turner. Now, he's been speaking about his move to Arsenal. I think he's going to arrive this week. Matt Turner, obviously, it's been done for a long, long time, but he's been over in America with New England Revolution. He's been playing with the US national team this summer, but he is now finished with the national team and will be coming over to kind of tie up everything with his contract. I don't know if he's going to be staying. I think he might be flying in because he's been playing with the US. I think he's probably going to fly in, get the last sort of finishing touches done, photo shoot, all that sort of stuff. Then he might fly out, have a bit of a holiday, and then meet up with Arsenal for the US tour. I'm not sure he's going to be involved in the Germany trip and the pre-season camp before Germany, because I think he's going to have a little bit more extra time off. But he is due in this week to London to sort out his transfer and get it all finalised. But he's been speaking about the move and why people have been saying to him, why are you doing it? Why are you going to Arsenal? You're pushing to be number one for the US for the World Cup, and yet you're going to be number two behind Aaron Ramsdale, who's very much established as Arsenal number one now. And this is what he had to say. He said, I can see why people assess it that way. Aaron had an amazing season for Arsenal. He's played well all year. I'd agree with it for now that he's going as second choice. But I'm coming in to push Aaron and become the best goalkeeper I can become, while also making him the best keeper he can become. That's really my goal for it all. He talks then about Arsenal and why he wanted to go. He says, the project that they have going on there, I want to be an important part of that locker room, adding some experience. Not a ton of Premier League experience, but national team experience, league experience, and playing games in pressurised environments. I'll be an older head in the locker room being 28. He's right. He's actually going to be one of the most experienced players in the locker room when he does arrive at Arsenal. Certainly earmarked for games in the Cup, early stages of next season, Europa League group stages, perhaps. Although Mikel Arteta has shown before that when it comes to that, he still tends to like to start with his number one goalkeeper. And it is a bold move. I can see why a lot of people in America are a bit surprised that Matt Turner has agreed to do this, especially in World Cup year, but he clearly backs himself and feels like he could come in here and really sort of push Aaron Ramsdale for the number one spot at Arsenal. Very, very good shot stopper by all accounts, Matt Turner. I've not seen too much of him, I have to say, but after Arsenal signed him, obviously did some research on him, and everyone that I spoke to about Matt Turner always points out his shot stopping ability. Very, very spectacular, apparently. So interested to see how he gets on. Hopefully well. Probably get our first look of him, like I said, during the US tour, which starts at the end of next month. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate your time as always. Please do hit me up in the comments with anything you agree with, disagree with. Let me know your opinion. Always happy to see that. And have a very good rest of the weekend wherever you're watching this around the world. And like I said at the start, happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there.